West Virginia is facing another round of flooding, less than a month after a deadly disaster tore through the north-central part of the state. Late Monday and early Tuesday, high water returned to communities around Clarksburg, Bridgeport, Shinston, and Taylor County, covering roads and pushing creeks out of their banks. Farther west, Middle Island Creek rose above moderate flood stage near the Pleasants and Tyler County line. The important point tonight is not that every part of West Virginia is underwater. It is that several communities already weakened by July's flooding are again dealing with dangerous water, damaged roads, and saturated ground. That repeated exposure can turn a smaller storm into a much more serious emergency because drainage systems, hillsides, bridges, and household finances may not have recovered from the first disaster. National Weather Service warnings issued overnight said flooding was occurring or imminent in parts of Harrison and Taylor counties. The affected area included communities along and near Interstate 79 and US. Route 50, but those highway references described the warning zone and did not mean every mile of those roads was closed. By Tuesday afternoon, the immediate warnings from the overnight event had expired, and the National Weather Service office in Charleston listed no active advisories for its forecast area. But the break does not eliminate the risk. More showers and thunderstorms are expected to return Wednesday night and Thursday, and forecasters say isolated flash flooding remains possible where the ground is already saturated. To understand why this new rainfall matters, we have to go back to July 21 and 22. During that event, thunderstorms dropped as much as about 7 inches of rain across parts of north-central West Virginia. Governor Patrick Morrisey said one location received 4.5 inches in only 37 minutes. That kind of intensity can overwhelm small streams and drainage systems before residents have time to react. Lewis and Upshur counties were among the hardest hit areas. Floodwater entered homes, businesses, a hotel, and a Walmart in Weston. Vehicles were submerged, bridges and roadways were damaged, and access to some people was temporarily cut off. State officials confirmed 2 deaths after the flooding. The emergency response was large. The West Virginia Division of Natural Resources reported at least 85 rescues, while National Guard and State Police Aviation Resources included 19 helicopters either operating or standing by during the search and rescue phase. Shelters received displaced residents, and hundreds of Guard members were mobilized as the state declared an emergency in all 55 counties. Near Buchanan, sand run rose to a level reported above the previous 1,985 mark, illustrating how rapidly a small waterway can become destructive in the Appalachian terrain. Yet records alone do not explain the human impact. A flood crest lasts for hours. Rebuilding can take months or years. Preliminary assessments in Lewis and Upshur counties documented dozens of destroyed homes, many more with major or minor damage, and hundreds of additional properties affected. Federal approval later made at least $4.5 million in expedited individual assistance available to eligible homeowners and renters in those 2 counties. That recovery was still underway when the August storms arrived. The latest verified flooding was concentrated farther north. Shortly before 1 a.m. Tuesday, the National Weather Service extended flood warnings across multiple sections of Harrison County and into western Taylor County. In one warned area, officials reported between 1.8 and 2.5 inches of rain. Other parts of Harrison County had received roughly 1 to 2 inches. The warnings covered Clarksburg, Bridgeport, Shinston, Stonewood, Nutterford, Anmore, Salem, Lumberport, Enterprise, Flemington, West Milford, and nearby communities. Forecasters said flooding of creeks, streams, low-lying roads, and other flood-prone locations was occurring or expected. They also warned that darkness made the danger harder to recognize. In Pleasants and Tyler counties, an automated gauge on Middle Island Creek near the community of Little moved just above its 16-foot moderate flood stage. The National Weather Service said low areas along secondary roads were flooding and specifically reported water on Stewart's Run Road. These details confirm a genuine overnight flood event. They also show why precision matters. The official reports describe several affected counties and communities, not a single continuous disaster zone covering all of West Virginia. Some roads may be impassable while a nearby highway remains open. One stream can be at moderate flood stage while another basin is falling. For residents and travelers, a statewide summary is therefore not enough. Conditions must be checked county by county and road by road. West Virginia 511 remains the appropriate source for current road conditions, while local emergency management and National Weather Service alerts should guide immediate safety decisions.
It might have got swept down or it's a shed or something.
Several dramatic claims circulating with this story do not match the official record reviewed for this update. One version reports that a woman died on Sunday after her vehicle was swept away near Pax in Fayette County. That account appears to combine the current weather with a real but separate tragedy from the 17th of February 2023. In the 2023 incident, an 11-week-old boy died after a vehicle entered floodwater near Pax and was swept away. The date, victim, and circumstances are not the same as the claims now being attached to the August 2026 storms. As of this update, we have not found an official confirmation of a new Pax fatality connected to the August 17 flooding. For that reason, the claim is not included as a current death. Other figures also require caution. We were unable to verify claims of more than 50 Kanawha County water rescue calls, a 4-inch daily rainfall total at West Virginia International Yeager Airport, or 20,000 storm-related power outages for this specific August event. Those numbers may be updated later, but they should not be presented as established facts without a named agency and timestamp. This distinction is not an attempt to minimize the flooding. It is the opposite. Accurate reporting protects the credibility of real warnings and respects the people affected. When old casualty accounts, forecast language, and current damage reports are merged together, viewers can no longer tell which communities need help now. In a fast-changing emergency, the publication time of every figure matters almost as much as the figure itself. West Virginia's terrain makes short bursts of heavy rain especially dangerous. Much of the state is built around steep ridges, narrow valleys, and small waterways. Homes, roads, rail lines, utilities, and businesses often occupy the limited flat ground beside streams. When intense rain falls on a hillside, runoff moves downward quickly and collects in those same narrow corridors. The amount of rain is only one part of the equation. Rainfall rate matters. 2 inches spread across an entire day may be manageable in some locations. The same amount falling in an hour over a small watershed can produce a rapid rise, particularly when the ground is already wet. Previous storms leave less space in the soil to absorb additional water. More rain then becomes surface runoff, filling ditches and creeks faster. Debris can block culverts or bridge openings, briefly holding water back before it spills into a road or changes direction. A washed-out road can remain hidden beneath muddy water, which is why judging depth from inside a vehicle is so dangerous. This does not mean every thunderstorm will create a catastrophe. Flood impacts depend on exactly where the heaviest rain falls, how long a storm remains over one basin, local drainage, soil conditions, and the condition of roads and streams. But it does mean that communities recovering from July have a reduced margin for error. The objective assessment is simple. This week's rainfall was not as destructive statewide as the July event, based on the evidence currently available. However, localized flooding over saturated Appalachian terrain can still threaten lives and infrastructure, even when the statewide rainfall total appears modest.
Okay, this is Water Street in Bridgeport by the Hot Rod Shop.
West Virginia's
report
immediate
tennis
flood
courts.
warnings from Monday night had expired by Tuesday afternoon, but the story
bridge.
is not over. Crews and residents are still assessing local damage from the latest
It hasn't
rainfall,
been this high
while
since
families in
85.
Lewis and Upshur counties continue rebuilding from July's deadly
So,
flood. The next period to monitor
should tell
is
you
Wednesday
something how
night
bad it
into
is.
Thursday, when showers and thunderstorms are expected to return. The current official forecast calls for a possibility of isolated flash flooding over saturated ground, not a guaranteed statewide catastrophe. Much will depend on whether slow-moving storms repeatedly cross the same small watersheds. Damage totals, road conditions, and assistance information may change as local agencies confirm new reports. Any casualty claim should be tied to a named authority and a clear date before it is repeated. That is especially important in this case because one widely circulated account mistakenly attached a February 2023 death near Pax to the August 2026 flooding. For now, the most accurate assessment is that West Virginia is dealing with repeated, localized flood threats during an already difficult recovery. The August event is smaller than July's disaster based on the available evidence, but it is still capable of isolating communities, damaging infrastructure, and placing drivers and first responders at risk. Follow local emergency management, the National Weather Service, and West Virginia 511 for information specific to your location. Thank you for watching Extreme Weather US. If verified reporting and calm, evidence-based analysis are useful to you, consider subscribing so you can follow the next update without the noise or exaggeration. Stay alert and stay safe.